Together a compilation of videos that can help you in your MAF training.
Using heart rate training as your preferred method of a training plan.
But fingers crossed that you enjoy this. And this start off with, I think, knowing how to do a MAF test the right way is something that I think is important. So if you're into running slow, wanting to use heart rate as the preferred method of training, and understanding what Dr. Phil Maffetone talks about when he talks about running slow, then this compilation video, I think, can really help you.
So in today's video, everyone, I'm going to talk to you about how to do a proper MAF test.
I've been through heartaches, I've been to heaven, I've done my best and my worst, learned my lessons. No matter
Using heart rate training as your preferred method of a training plan was something that I never even thought about. I honestly thought, go out and run as fast as you can, every single run, try to get better, don't get injured, things like that. But it took me a while to figure out that is not the right way to do it. I needed to be strategic. I needed to be smart. I needed to use this heart rate training, the Maffetone method way of running. I needed to use that to improve as a runner. I didn't know what fast, what slow pacing actually looked like until I actually started paying attention. And this video here, I think, will guide you into how to do a proper MAF test.
Just getting out there just felt good. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. Welcome aboard, where we talk about everything about running and heart rate training. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to do a proper MAF test. Now, the first thing you're going to want to know, is you're going to need a heart rate monitor, whether it's a wrist-based, a strap, an arm band, earbuds, whatever it is, you're going to need to be able to measure your heart rate. That's number one. Number two, it's a given. You need running shoes, comfortable running shoes. Number three, I'm actually going to start running out of trying to count because I'm probably going to forget. So number three, you are going to take the following formula. 180 minus your age equals your maximum aerobic heart rate. Okay, that is your MAF number. Now, if you have been running for 2 or more years and you haven't been injured and you haven't gotten colds, then you can add on an additional 5 beats, okay? Now, if I've severely complicated things for you, it's going to get more complicated. No, I'm just kidding. It gets easy, but you're not going to like me on the next bit. According to Dr. Phil Maffetone, he has stated that if you are on any medication whatsoever, you have to reduce by 10 beats. Don't shoot the messenger, what I'm just saying. This is what he tells. This is what he says. And this is the way it works. All right. Now, the reason that you reduce by 10 beats is your body is under stress when it's taking medication. That is the reason. All right, you may have an elevated heart rate because of it. So again, it's all being factored in. Now, he's done this since the late 1970s. These aren't just numbers pie out of the sky. He's done research on all of this. The only part that he hadn't really done research is if you are over 60, I think 65, or if you are in your teenage years, you may have to play around with that number. You may have to add an additional 10 beats on, or you may have to reduce. You may have to figure this out on your own, unfortunately, because he didn't have the data to actually come up with a number necessarily in those higher ranges or the lower ranges, okay? So again, it's an open system, and he stated it's an open system. The next thing that you're gonna wanna do is you are gonna want to run at the same place every single month. Okay, you're going to do this test once a month, and you're going to go out for a 3 or a 6 mile. Okay, either a 5K or a 10K. and you're gonna run around a track, okay, to measure your heart rate every kilometer, all right? It's doing it all with your watch. The thing is you are going to have to warm up for 15 minutes. Now, some of you may say, Dave, I am warming up. I can't run any faster. My run is my warm up. I get it, all right? But the reason for the warm up is you don't want to just come out of your house and go for a run, because the first 2 kilometers are going to be, or the first 2 miles, right? They're going to be all over the place with heart rate. It's going to be low. It may be high. It may fluctuate. So by getting out and doing like a fast walk or a slow jog, whatever you need to do, just to kind of get things going, all right? If you have a chest strap, you may need to make sure that the connection on your skin is really good. You may have to get the gel that goes underneath to make the really good connections. Okay, you may have to use some water, whatever it is, right? Really important. Same thing with watch, man. You want to make sure that the optical sensor is clean. I don't know what number I'm on, guys. I'm just going to throw numbers up on the screen because I can't remember. Putting all joking aside. So now that you've established your heart rate, you've got your heart rate monitor, you know that you got to do a warm up and you're going to be running around the track, okay? And you do that once a month. Now, the other thing is you want to make sure that you do it at the same time of day, all right? Ideally, you want to do it in the same type of conditions when it comes to weather. Now, you're going to say, Dave, that's kind of impossible. And I'm going to say you're absolutely right, unless you live in the tropics. Okay? Steven, I'm talking to you. Because honestly, it's just hot down there all the time. And you can just go out and you'll know what your heart rate is going to do because you're running it all the time. Now, the reason why you want to run in the same type of condition is the temperature is going to affect your heart rate. The humidity is going to affect your heart rate. The cooler temperatures are going to affect your heart rate. So trying to compare an MAF test from February to one in July, it ain't gonna happen, all right? So go out and do those runs, right? And then you can write down how fast you were on the first mile or the first kilometer, second mile, second kilometer, and write that down. Because as you run around the track, ideally, your pace is going to slow down. And that is exactly what it should do. Now, if your heart rate is still going strong at the same pace and you're going well, you will eventually hit a cardiac drift and it'll kind of fall off, okay? But you should be getting slower. Now, general questions that people have is, am I gonna lose my fitness? Am I gonna get slower? Look, you're building your aerobic engine. You're gonna work on your heart, okay? And yes, you're gonna lose some of your top end speed. Your VO2 max is gonna go slow, but the thing is you're not training for VO2 max. You're not training to run fast 800-meter repeats, right? You're looking for endurance. You wanna get your heart, your cardiac system, right, in a good position to be able to endure. That's why we call it endurance sports, right? So you wanna know that yes, you will be able to do faster workouts after you build up your base, okay? And the Maffetone method basically says that, okay? It's not all slow heart rate training. It is a combination, but you gotta at least do about 3 to 6 months of base building. You may want to even do a year, okay? Or even longer, just depends on where you're coming from, okay? Look, races are canceled. You got the opportunity to work on it, all right? During the rest of the week, how are you going to run? You're gonna go out and just do regular runs, right? You have that 10 beats to play with, right? So if today I'm going out to do a half marathon, it's gonna be a slower run than, let's say, on my Tuesday run, okay? Tuesday I may do, an hour and a half, but I may do it at, 1:38, right? But I know that I've got 10 beats to play with. So when I go out for, a longer run, I'll go ahead and I will do it slower. I may do it at a 1:32, right, beats per minute. That's the thing. You've got that zone to play around with. Now, the thing also to know is if you run at your maximum aerobic pace, right? if I run at 138 or if I run at 128, I will eventually get faster at the 138 than I will at the 128. That's another thing that I've learned, and he's actually talked about as well. Now again, you want to probably purchase the book, right? The big yellow book here on the screen. It's very helpful if you want to get it on iBooks. You can buy it online as well. Anyways, that's just some of the things that I'm talking about, guys. So you're running around the track. So now all of your runs are going to be in that zone, and you're going to do it for however long it is that you want to do it. Now again, you may want to incorporate some tempo runs, some faster runs, after you've worked on your base for a number of months. All right? Ideally, you should get faster each month. You should be progressing, right? You should be getting faster at the same heart rate. That's what should happen. Hopefully I explained that aspect of it. Now, because there's all kinds of other videos in here that talks about other things that you'll want to do. That's how you do a proper MAF test. Hopefully it was helpful. I'm going to go inside and I'm going to eat some chili that I made.
I really wanted
All right,
to
guys,
get it right.
hope all is well, and get out there and run.
Trying to find some balance in my life, but I never really put up a fight.
Learning about the Maffetone method, I didn't realize how much there was to learn about one way of running. Heart rate training, Maffetone method. I honestly didn't realize how much I would learn in this period of time. But in this compilation that I'm putting together, this is a series that I'm doing, and I look back on these videos and I'm going, wait, I learned that, and I learned that, and I learned that. There's just so many different things, so many different data points that I learn along the way. And these are some, I think there's like 4 videos in this compilation, so I hope you enjoy, because putting these together and understanding them is one of those things that I think can really help a lot of runners.
After 1 year of Maffetone training, I'm going to talk about the 5 things that can ensure you're successful at using the Maffetone method way of training to build up your aerobic base. And let's start right now.
You know that I'ma keep it cool. With you I feel like breaking rules. On the edge, looking out with no parachute. You know I'm dreaming about us too.
Now let's dive in with 5 tips to be successful. Number 1, if you haven't built up your aerobic base, there is a very good chance that you may actually have to walk. Yes, I know, you want to be a runner. And what does this walking have to do with training this way? If you haven't spent the time building up your base, pretty much what you've been doing is training anaerobically. You've been training really hard, and by training really hard, there's a very good chance that you've gotten injured. You've either overtrained, you've burned out. Hey, that was me, okay? That was totally me. And you know what? It sucked. I didn't like it, but it is what it is. Now, if you're going to be successful at this, you will walk. You will run walk. And guess what? That's okay. Run walk, take your time. It will happen. You will improve over time. The second tip I would share with you is you are going to have patience. This is not a sprint. This is not a biohack. This is a lot of hard work and a lot of frustration because you want to run. So be prepared that it's going to take time. It's going to take time to build the engine. It's going to take time to show results. The second tip I will share with you is you are going to have to change your diet, folks. You cannot outrun a bad diet. There's absolutely no way. Now, maybe if you're younger, you can, but once you start crossing the threshold, I'm gonna say 30, I noticed I started packing on the weight. My metabolism was so messed up. I would just eat burgers blocks of cheese, all kinds of junk food, chips, a lot of bagels, muffins, cookies. And I'm gonna tell you, that stuff is not gonna get you to where you wanna go. Now, you may look at this and go, Dave, it's Christmas. I want to indulge. That's okay. That's okay. Just know that the reason that you're going to be gaining weight is, again, because of the sugar. Sugar, oh my gosh. So, it doesn't matter how much you run. You're not going to be able to outrun a bad diet. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
With us it's all or nothing. Forget starting more of you. Say you're doing right, but in the morning you just leave. With us it's all or nothing.
You're gonna like number 4, or you may yell at me. In the comments below, let me know what you think about running hills. Right? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you think they work? Tip number 4 is find a hill and incorporate it into your Maffetone training, whether it's a trail or just on the road. And then go ahead and hike the hills. Hike them, walk them, because you're still in that heart rate zone. Your body doesn't know the difference whether you're running a hill or not. Your heart rate is your heart rate. So that's something that can really help. I mean, it builds muscle. It's great for trail running because you're going to be doing a lot of walking and hiking when you trail run, and it makes it fun. Some of you may want to slow down, but you're afraid of walking because you see it as maybe a sign of weakness or something like that. Look at it as part of the training cycle, part of the fun of doing it, and enjoy the process. Hills are fantastic.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find myself again. But life is one big riddle of the future and what's been. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta go, running to better times, go.
Tip number 5 and tip number 6 are going to be consistency. You're not going to see results if you're not consistent. So for my training, I realized that fairly quickly. So I decided that I would slowly increase my mileage and incorporate 2-hour runs. You gotta do it slowly, methodically, and don't rush the process. So maybe you start off running 3 days a week, then you work your way up to 4 days, and then maybe 5 days, and then maybe 6, right? And then as you're doing that, you can maybe increase your mileage, because being consistent in your running, along with increasing your mileage, running at such a slow intensity, you're not gonna, I found I didn't get injured, right? I found that I started to have a lot of success. So for me, I worked my way up from 30 miles to running an 80-mile ultra in a year. My way up to running an ultra marathon, starting off 30 kilometers a week and peaking at over 100 miles, 167 kilometers. I did all that in a year. I don't know what your goals are. However, I would suggest you set a goal, because when you set a goal, you've got something to work towards. Because without a goal, you don't have a map. And without a map, you don't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going, you're probably going to stop, turn around, and go back home. Guys, thanks for joining, for following along. You can click on this video right here and click on this one right here, how I talk about running 100 miles, and then you can check out my ultra marathon that I did. Happy trails, everybody. Get out and run. Until next week, see ya. Maffetone training in the winter is a joy. Here are 3 reasons why I think it's probably the most amazing time to do this.
Hey everyone, my name is David Waters and I'm the Plant Powered Runner. Here's a Christmas gift for all of you injured runners, overweight runners, people wanting to get back into running, or people who have burned out. Guys, look, there is a better way, a simpler way to basically get your fitness back on track. Winter time is a great opportunity to do a reset, to basically say, it's time for something different. I can't keep doing what I've been doing because I've been getting injured. So what I propose is you start training using heart rate as a metric.
Welcome to Canada, where it snows all the time. No, I'm just kidding. My gosh, I can't believe we got dumped on. Crazy amount of snow. And anyways, I'm going out for my run.
Keep thinking that I could have done something, but now I'm left with an empty heart. No making amends, no waking up beside you and holding you till we forget.
You know what I forgot, guys?
How could I know there was no second chances? Like dominoes, my life got really scattered. You couldn't keep the door shut, and now the frostbite's creeping in. 'Cause I've been stone cold since you left me here. So come home, why won't you reappear? Things that I said came out totally wrong. Can't speak of the truth when it's tainted. I fell into a big...
The first reason I love running in this time of year is the ego. One of the things I really love about winter running and training with MAF is the ego can be left at home. He can be tucked away in his bed and he doesn't show his head until spring. Because I can't run fast on this stuff. Really doesn't matter what I do.
You got me stone cold. Got me stone cold. No Wizard of Oz can undo what I've done. Completely out of luck this time. I'm stuck in reverse. I gotta get away now, but I can't seem to take the lead. Oh baby, how could I know?
For me, I find it joyful. I find it liberating. And I find it a weight kind of taken off my shoulders. Because when there is snow on the ground, there is no way to run fast at all. None. You can't do it, guys. You cannot run fast in the snow. I'm just telling you. So if it's snowing where you are, just know that the ego is at bay.
Into the second thing, I can't run fast in this stuff, right? There's no grip, there's no anything. So I am literally just running at a nice slow heart rate and enjoying it. So, which is really awesome.
Second chances, like dominoes, my life got really scattered. Still, I find myself hoping that you'll find your way back to me. 'Cause I've been stone cold since you left me here. So come home, why won't you reappear? Things that I said came out totally wrong. Can't speak of the truth when it's tainted. I fell into a...
Hey everybody, I'm on the track and I'm gonna do my MAF test. Merry Christmas! Where is the field? There it is. I have no idea if I'm on the track or the infield.
It's not your ideal temperature for running a MAF test. And again, MAF tests, hey, you got to go with the weather, right? It's a little all over the place.
And the third thing I really love about this is I would rather run when it's like, I don't know, whatever the temperature is right now, than in the middle of summer when I am like dying. Like when I got sweat, it's like 114 Fahrenheit and I can't run and I'm frustrated and the ego's saying you should be able to run faster and all those things, right? Some winter allows you to be able to like reset, run slower, enjoy the process. And to me, that's what running is really about. So I'm gonna take you on my run today. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. It really means a lot. And right now, this is day one of a 28-day lockdown of no retail, no, I don't know, no meeting anybody. And like, we're all staying home. I'm wishing everyone the best during this COVID time. It's pretty crazy, pretty scary. And but the vaccines are here, so it's just gonna take a while before we can all get vaccinated. So I miss everybody.
So these are just some of the things that I really enjoy about winter running and training using the Maffetone method because of all those things I just talked about. So that's my message to you guys. I hope you are enjoying these videos. And if you are, just think about liking, subscribing, and commenting. It really means a lot to me.
Trying to find some balance in my life.
One of my favorite things I learned about using the Maffetone method kind of totally took me by surprise. And I still use it to today. It's something that I think a lot of you may have forgotten, may never have learned, or something you may have overlooked. But hopefully you enjoy this one.
Oh my gosh, guys, I am so flippin' happy. I gotta share some amazing news for all of you. For every single one of us who trains with low heart rate, man, today's the day. Everyone's gonna be so happy.
Kissing like we were in a trap. When we are dancing, butterflies flying. When stars are shining in the night.
If you're getting older, which all of us are, you're gonna wanna hear about what I have to say today when it comes to Maffetone training. So here's the thing, we all age. Every year we get older and older and older. And one of the misconceptions that I had this misconception that every year that I got older, I had to reduce the beats per minute in my Maffetone training. And that, my friends, is simply wrong. And according to Phil Maffetone, in his book, the big yellow book for endurance athletes, there's nowhere in there that states that.
Nowhere does it say that every year you have to reduce your heart rate by 1 beat. In the big book of endurance training and racing, what I talk about there is that we keep that 180 minus the age formula. You're feeling good and you're getting faster at that heart rate. Then about every 3 to 5 years, you might have to reduce that MAF heart rate by a beat or two, depending on your condition. If you've been doing well for those 3 to 5 years, then you wouldn't reduce it as much. But if you are not doing well, then the aging factor is maybe catching up, so you might have to reduce it more. The bottom line is that when you do make an adjustment, you're going to follow your MAF test to see if indeed you've reduced it and allowed your body to get faster at that same heart rate. The idea of reducing your heart rate every year is absolutely not true.
So let me go all the way back to the beginning, okay? So every year we get older, and so we think that we have to reduce how many beats we have. So if I was training at 138 beats a minute, then I would have to reduce that down to 37 beats a year later. And then a year after that, I'd be down to 136. And we would just continue to go down. But that's simply not true. What? It's simply not true? You got to be kidding me. So I'll tell you what is true is the following. As we run, we get stronger, okay? And as we age, we physically are aging, okay? Our body is growing. We our skin is starting to change, starting to lose some hair up top. Yeah, I am actually losing hair up top. However, if you're using the Maffetone training method, okay, you are going to be chronologically getting older. We all do. However, your physiology is going to be different, right? You're going to be stronger, right? You're going to be running, your bones are going to be stronger, your heart's going to be stronger, your skin is going to look a lot better. Just things are just going to change. You're going to lose weight, right? So what's really amazing is when Phil says the following: use the Maffetone training's heart rate method, 180 minus your age, okay? And that's your base. That's what you're going to start with, okay? Now, if you are younger, like 16 or in your teens, you can add on a number of beats. And I'm going to talk about this in a minute. And if you're over 65, then yeah, you can add in a number of beats on the higher end as well. Again, I'm going to get into that. However, as you start off with 180 minus your age, you don't need to reduce a beat every single year. It's simply not true. 180 minus your age is your starting. So if you start at 147, okay, you're going to be running at 133, right? 133 beats a minute. Now, if I add on 5, because I've been running for a number of years, I'm at 138. Now, where it gets amazing is if you are using the MAF method on the track and you're going out there and you're doing your MAF test, right? And if you are increasing, if you are improving, right? If you are getting faster and you're improving at the same heart rate, when that year comes around and you're still improving, you don't need to change. You can keep it the same. Now, how long will that last for? Well, if you continue to run at that pace, at that heart rate, and you're improving on your MAF test every single time, then amazing. You don't need to change anything. However, you may want to reevaluate yourself after a number of years, like let's say 3 to 5 years. You may want to check in, see how things are going, right? And if there's a change, you may have to reduce it down a beat or two, okay? So that's amazing news, because I'm super excited, because again, I just aged, so I thought I was going to be down at 132, which means I would have been at 137. But it's simply not the case. I can continue to train at 138. So hallelujah. I'm so happy about that. Now, here's something else. Maffetone training is an open method. It is not, he's not saying like this is like the military and this is exactly how it has to be and everything else, right? Like, it's not like that. It is an open system. So if you are an older runner, right? If you're over 60, 65, right? Yes, you may have to add a number of beats, because when he did his testing in the 80s, or like I think it was like the late 70s, early 80s, when he came up with the formula, he didn't have enough runners at that age. And so he didn't have the data, and his formula is data driven, okay? And because it's data driven, he's not just gonna make up arbitrarily some number for, you know, runners who are in their 60s. So here's the thing. What he has said is the following: you may have to experiment. Take 180 minus your age, but throw in 10 beats, throw in 5 beats, and then do your MAF test. And then do your MAF test the following month, and then do it again. If you're seeing improvements, keep it the same. If not, make adjustments. It is an open system to figure out your health. And you can do this in every aspect of your life, okay? And this is what he's talked about, and it floored me. I was like, whew, this is amazing, right? So there's nowhere in the big book of endurance athletes. I don't even know if I keep saying it right. Anyways, it's right there on your screen. It's the big yellow book. That's what it is. I just finished my run and I'm trying to record this, and I wanted to make sure that you guys had this data because it was amazing. Okay, so that is a big myth when it comes to that, right? And the other myth is when you're getting older, your number is going to be so much lower. It may not be the case. All right. So for all of you that think, hey, this is going to be amazing, there's something to be very, very cautious about. If you've been running and you've been doing the Maffetone training and everything else, and then for some reason you stop, and then like 3 years later, 4 years later, you decide to start back in again, you have to do the 180 minus your current age. You can't use what you were doing all those years ago because you kind of stopped training, right? So you have to reevaluate at the current age that you're at. So long story short, don't stop running, just keep on going, right? Because again, we can continue to run. Now, the other amazing thing that I wanted to share in today's video is the following. When you go out for a run, people have asked me, you know, do I go out for an hour run? Do I go out for a 2-hour run, right? So as you build up your base and as you get stronger, you're going to be able to go longer, and your cardiac drift is going to slowly get longer and longer and longer. Like you'll be able to run longer without your heart rate dropping, okay? And so knowing that, you can actually run further. So if you're training, or if you're thinking about training for an ultra marathon like I did, right? And you're thinking like, how am I going to do this? You can go out and run for 2 hours, right? You can run for 3 hours, right? You can run for 4 hours. You could be hiking, because if you're running an ultra, you're going to be hiking. So you need to figure out and train hiking wise, okay? Because that's what you're going to be running. So you can go longer, right? Because you're training in that aerobic zone. You can continue to go for a long time, just like I did, right? I trained actually on average, it was 136 beats per minute when I did my 50 miler, right? So again, you will fatigue, and when you fatigue, you see that in your heart rate. That's where you see the fatigue, okay? And that's one thing that I experienced. So anyways, guys, if you like these videos, please hit the subscribe button, like and comment on the videos that I put out there. I do it for you guys. I do it to also keep me accountable. I love doing these things and I want to continue to bring it to you. I appreciate all of the likes and comments that you guys have been giving me. And until next time, get out and run.